we can't expect, and we shouldn't expect performers to be like the characters they play, especially actors, to be anything like the characters they play. Um, I was reminded of that when I finally saw Girl with an Itch, in which Kathy Marlowe, who died, Kathy Marlowe Thompson, had a starring role. Okay. She, one reviewer, a user reviewer on IM Internet Movie Database described her as a nymphomaniac, which isn't really quite true. But in fact, when she first got out of the car, she was kind of kicked out because apparently she was rejecting um, the overtures, the sexual overtures of the guy who had given her a ride. But anyway, she did have a she did have an itch, both sexual and material. That's why it has that title. The character Mary Lou did. In real life, um, Kathy, I talked to her. I talked to Kathy Marlowe Thompson before she died. She died at age 87, I believe. She said that if she was going to have a biography, it might be called The Girl Who Said No, because she wouldn't go for the casting couch. And she often told producers, directors, no. She wouldn't trade sexual favors for a part in a movie. And who knows, maybe that's one reason she didn't become a superstar. Maybe you had to do that in those days. I don't know. Scott Douglas, a man who played Jake in Girl with an Itch, who was the farmhand at the Ben Cooper Ranch or farmstead, and who played a kind of, man's man, very traditional farmhand, macho man type, with whom she has a literal roll in the hay. In real life, as well as an actor, he was a ballet dancer, and he had a long-term relationship with a ballet dancer and choreographer named Glenn Tetley. But of course, gay men can be very traditionally masculine. They often are. There's so many examples: Rock Hudson, Raymond Burr. But anyway, there was I think the reviewer said that they had to give the man who played the Ben Cooper's son, Ori Cooper, they had to give him a girlfriend, though she never appears on screen, a fiance, because otherwise his consistent rejection of a woman as pretty as the one, played by a pretty actress like Kathy Marlowe, would mean that the audience would probably think he was batting for the other team. Why else would he say no to somebody who had the goods? A woman who had the goods the way Kathy Marlowe did. Anyway, those are some thoughts I have. The actress who played the sex pot and Girl with an Itch was in real life the actress who just said no. And the actor who played the macho farmhand Jake, hey, that was even kind of a macho name they gave him, wasn't it? Jake was in real life a ballet dancer in a long-term relationship with ballet choreographer Glenn Tetley. And, there's so many other examples. Never jump to conclusions when you see a movie about what that person is like, no matter how well they play their part. No matter how well they play their part.